Today we're going to be talking about one of the most important things that you need to manage as you get through your early levels here in World of Warcraft Classic Hardcore. As you are starting a lot of different characters, if you are having recent deaths and having to restart very often, getting through that first 1 to 10 all the way to 1 to 20 leveling process can be painstaking if you are not doing it correctly. And there are a lot of things that you can do to make the leveling process a lot more efficient to help make your journey easier to get to that sweet level 60 character that you are trying to create. The main focus of this video and what we're going to be talking about is your mana management. So when it comes to your mana, you're going to be dictated in a lot of the clears and how the clear speed that you have based on the character that you're using, whether you're doing a mage, a warlock, even a druid. And if you aren't managing your mana, it's going to be, your clears are going to be a lot slower, and you're also going to have to be using a lot more of the refreshments in game to get your mana back up. Mages in particular can create their own, but the other characters are going to have to buy the resources, and it can get kind of annoying having to go back to a vendor because this is disrupting your progress. As well as in Classic World of Warcraft, there is a lot of walking, so the more walking that you have to do from quests to quests, and the more times you have to visit vendors, and the more things start tacking up on the side and make your leveling process slower. So what we're going to be going over is the 5-second rule and the types of things that affect your mana regeneration in game. So on our character screen, if I open up, I just put together a little gnome here. He's a mage. We have the spirit indicator, which increases your health and mana regeneration rates. So your spirit directly relates to how much mana you're going to be regenerating, and there are formulas for this that you can do the calculations for. I'm not going to put them in this video because you can easily just look those up. I don't think they're as relevant to have those memorized, but just know as your spirit increases, you will be generating more mana, and it also increases your health. But the main thing I want to talk about is going to be the 5-second rule, and this is very important in vanilla Classic World of Warcraft because your mana management in this version is very important compared to the other ones. So when you are starting out, as let's say I have my mage here, and I'm doing my first quest, I'm going to be using my fireball, which costs 30 mana. Right now I only have 225, and we're going to be using this spell to take down the wolves in this area. Now there's a way that we can be a little bit more efficient about this without having to drink or have any downtime. So when it comes to casting these spells, after you cast a spell and the mana is pulled away from your overall pool of mana that you have, you're going to have to wait 5 seconds before the regeneration ticks start kicking in. Now this is for any spell that is cast. Once the mana is taken away, the regeneration process, that 5-second timer will then start. If you're doing a channeling ability, same applies. It's going to start its regeneration process after 5 seconds. So once the mana is pulled from you, the 5 seconds starts ticking, and after that 5 seconds, you then start the regeneration of your mana. If you do a channeling spell, which this isn't, we're not worried about this as much from levels 1 to 20, but later down the line, there are some channeling spells that are longer than 5 seconds, then it's not going to be the 5-second rule. It goes up to 10 seconds. It's going to take 10 seconds to start the regeneration process. So I just picked up our first quest, Dwarven Outfitters, and we're going to have to kill the ragged young wolves in this area. So we're going to run out here. We're going to find some. There's a lot of people leveling up their characters right now, so we just need to find some that have been spawned up. And right here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fireball this wolf. We're going to shoot a second one, and then we're going to shoot a third fireball. So now that is dead, we're going to loot that, and we should put auto loot on. We're going to go to another wolf and immediately start casting. So we're going to cast our fireball. We're going to cast 3 of them. And then we have, oh, this guy's taking this one. So we're going to cast 3 more again. That wolf is down, and now we are officially out of mana. So after 5 seconds, we're going to start the regeneration process, and we can also drink refreshing spring water to start restoring our mana right away. So I'm just going to drink some now so that we can start getting that up while they're ticking together. Get that all topped up. And then I'm going to show you a way that you can do this where you won't have to drink as often. So we were able to kill 3 wolves, but on the last hit, we had to use a third fireball. So if we were to, let's say, fireball, we throw 1 more, and then we auto attack the wolf for the rest of the damage, because it is going to tick some fire damage. We can auto him like that, and then we can shoot 2 fireballs at the next one. That one actually got killed by 2, so we're going to shoot 2 more. That one actually got killed by it as well, and then we're going to shoot 2 more. And then we're going to auto this down. So with that method, which I still haven't turned auto loot on, so let me just turn that on real quick. With that method, we were able to take down 4 wolves instead of 2. Now, this is going to exponentially speed up your leveling process in everything you do, not just for the first quest, but for every quest after this, 1 through 20, whether you have to kill things to loot or you have to kill things to, you know, get just kills on the board for your quest. This is something that you're going to want to do. So instead of expelling on that last part, you can just auto down, let the dots do their work, which is the damage over time. And we can let that do the work for us instead of front loading as much mana when it's not as efficient, when you can throw some auto attacks in. Now, I know this is it's a very like simple concept, but it has helped my leveling and speeding of leveling process a lot, which I don't have to use as many of my refreshments, which means I can save money down the line to be spent on other items, whether it be armor or stuff for my professions, or for if you're saving up for your mount when you get to level 40. This is a very small detail, but it can be inflated into a lot more details when it comes to all the abilities you're using. You're going to want to think of all of the abilities that you have on your character, all of the spells that you want to use, the spells that you want to use at the beginning of the fight. You want to front load all of your mana, which means when the fight starts, you're going to want to use all of your mana and then get to a point when you can start regenerating your mana, whether it be during that fight. Like when I use a druid, I'll cast all my wraths and my moonfire, and I'll shoot everything in front of me, and then once they're on me, I'll either auto attack or I'll switch to bear form and start regenning while I'm fighting with just melee with my bear form. With mages, you can use a couple of spells, and then you can either kite, or you can front load all of your spells, and when they get on top of you, you can just auto attack while you're regenning, and then if they're just low enough, you let some dots tick them down, you auto attack them, and then move on to the next one. Same with warlock. There are a lot of dots that the warlocks have. That's something that you can use, but those are just some examples, and that's mostly what I want to talk about when it comes to early leveling. It's a very simple concept, but it's something that can be dived in a lot deeper when you're thinking about your mana management. When it's in any type of content, that 5-second rule is very important, and the type of abilities and the way that you use them when you are jumping from mob to mob and farming these out. It's just something I want you to start thinking about as you are leveling characters. And if you are playing hardcore, we're all going to die at some point. Something's going to happen, whether it is your fault or something happens in game, whether it's a DC, it doesn't matter. We're going to have to go through the leveling process over and over again. And as you get this concept down, your times will become faster, you'll level your character faster, and you can get to the points that you were originally at faster over time as you start perfecting these. Now, that's going to be it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you learned some things about your mana management here in World of Warcraft Classic Hardcore. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see all of you in the next video.